it's been a positive engagement on the budget. We hope that what we will see in this budget is a focus on infrastructure investment, and that we'll not be funding that through tax increases, be that an increase in value-added tax, a direct increase in personal income tax or corporate tax. At the same time, we need to see some serious commitments to a thorough expenditure review where we cut out these excessive, sprawling bureaucracies across the government departments. And the savings from that expenditure review we're able to add back into the budget through an adjustment later in the year.
Is it enough though, because as you said, you don't want to increase revenue through increasing taxes or introducing new taxes. Is it enough? The finance minister spoke about a 75 billion rand gap over the next 3 years. Is cutting expenditure and cutting those bureaucracies, is it enough to fund that gap?
Absolutely. It'll be more than enough if it's done properly. Let's take a few examples maybe to put this number into context, but let's also just be clear that the 75 billion rand hole is a number estimated over 3 years. The difficulty here is we've got so many areas of inefficiency. I'll give you just one example. CETAs are meant to be these training authorities. We're allocating 19 billion rand to them per calendar year. Or per financial year, if you will. And these things are deeply inefficient. They're corrupt. They're the subject of multiple SIU investigations. Now, if you take what would have come in from a VAT increase of 0.5% per year, that would have been 13 billion rand. So CETAs alone are more than what a VAT increase would have delivered. Another way to try and understand this is during the Mandela government, if you take what they had at their disposal in the inflation adjusted, which is making it 2025 money, that government had 3 times less at their disposal than we do now. And then Mbeki government had 50 to 60% of the current budget, and that had social grants baked into it. So the problem here is not how much revenue we're getting in. The problem is how much we're spending and where we're spending it and how inefficient that spending is. Now, it could be that the minister gives us more detail today on exactly what the timeframes are for an expenditure review, and then we'll have to consider that in good faith. But we do need to start getting serious about the value that South Africa Incorporated gets for its money, and at the moment that is very poor value for money.
It's important that the budget must go through, because if you don't have the budget going through, it brings a lot of uncertainty in the country, not just in society in general, but including on your ability to attract investments would be questionable, because people will say, if you can't pass your own budget, to what extent can we depend on you to grow the economy, and let alone to be the good custodians of our own resources if we're to come and invest into your own country. So it's fundamentally important that the budget must be passed, and we believe that the budget will be passed because, as you know, there's been, as I'm saying, a lot of discussion between and among political parties, and it was not necessarily completely unexpected last time, because that the budget may be one of the difficulties, because this is the first time that we are engaged in some form of a coalition type of government, the GNU. So there will always be contestation about the budget, because budget is not a neutral tool. It's a political tool for you to advance your own program in the country. So where there are disagreements, it's inevitable that you might run into some problems. But I think our own experience over the past month or two has taught us a lesson of how to manage the processes relating to the budget.
And as you speak about those lessons, is the GNU in consensus around the budget speech that will be delivered later today?
Yes, of course. Our own understanding is that all parties in the GNU have agreed with the budget that is going to be presented. But you see, in issues around budget, there may be small variation here and there, where somebody says after the budget is presented, well, I agree, but I would have preferred that he raises this money a bit or lower that money a bit. But those are going to be just minor issues, which would not necessarily suggest that there are disagreements, which may result in the budget not being passed. So from where we are sitting as the ANC, there is a coherent and convergence in terms of the budget to be presented by the minister later this afternoon.